The original Five Nights at Freddy's is actually kind of a tragedy when you think about it, because FNAF's been going on so long. It's had so many ups and downs. It's had so many, I guess, community level occurrences. It's had so much competition. The original Five Nights at Freddy's, I feel like a lot of people have lost what made it so good. Something about the original Five Nights at Freddy's, I would say, still hasn't even been matched by FNAF itself. With one exception. We'll get to that in a different video. Mr. Phone Guy, I don't know whether to let him talk for now. Already? Five Nights at Freddy's 1 was so targeted. It was done in such a way that I'd argue the other FNAF games didn't even really replicate it. Even FNAF 2, which I'd say is thematically the closest to FNAF 1, feels nothing like Five Nights at Freddy's 1. And the excess of, like, mascot horror and borderline abusing, I'd say. Abuse might be the right word. Abusing familiarity. Abusing the uncanny valley. I hate saying uncanny because it's used so much. But that's kind of what it is. Abusing that level of memory betrayal, actually. I'd argue mascot horror today is, like, only focused on that aspect. Whereas this game, the way it did it, it wasn't trying to beat anybody. It wasn't trying to create a franchise. It wasn't trying to make the big bucks on YouTube. It existed as a vision that I want to say was really spot on, and like it knew exactly what it was doing. But knowing the origins of this game and how Scott was kind of desperate when he made it, I doubt he like had it all perfectly in his head. Like, oh, you know, he didn't even know who Foxy was going to be apparently. But the level of betrayal that this game uses is so specific. And that's why I don't think any other mascot horror game quite feels like this one. This game right here arguably created a subgenre of horror. Arguably. There's been some games that kind of came out before and sort of played a similar role, but Five Nights at Freddy's basically created mascot horror. For better and worse, because there's some absolute trash out there. And even the best mascot horror games haven't replicated this. And I'll give you several reasons why. This is like a big rant piece right now. There are several aspects to this. The first thing I want to highlight, that I think a lot of horror games, or mascot horror games in particular, kind of miss, weirdly enough, and I'm kind of surprised they missed this, because it's so integral to the feeling of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 in particular, is the realism. And I know realism might be a bit of a strong word to use for what we're looking at here, but if you take a look around the pizzeria, I mean, are you not having memories? Maybe not that one. But do you not have some memories looking at this stuff? Oh, Bonnie seems to have moved. Does some of this not at least kind of indicate something you've seen before? Even if it wasn't, like, directly. Even if you haven't been to a Chuck E. Cheese or something like that. Like, you know, a stage with animatronics on it. The tables is... Bro's getting kind of loud. That was awfully loud. The fact that it has these specific memories attached to it is part of what makes it so strong. It's not upplaying anything. In the sense that, oh, look at this new setting, look at this new... I guess, as if a new IP was being made. Part of why Poppy Playtime really does not work. Like, I really don't care for Poppy Playtime. The reason it doesn't work is because, sure, toys may be the thing that's hunting you. Toys may be the enemy. But the setting does not at all match the threat. The threat is so far removed from the idea of familiarity that I can't even notice Chica. Foxy's already kind of active for how long my cameras have been up. And that's why I really don't care for Poppy Playtime. Because the whole toys thing doesn't really change much. But in this case, Five Nights at Freddy's is trying to look grounded. It looks very grounded. In a way that other horror games, Mascot in particular, just don't do it. Are you possibly insinuating that a giant underground factory made for experimenting on human souls doesn't match well with evil toys? But I mean, even in Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, the whole toy factory angle, it was okay. But it felt, I don't know if overly gamey is the right word. It's me. Did you know it's me? I have news for you, bro. It's me. And like the threats that are hunting you in FNAF 1 are, again, I know grounded might be a bit of a repetitive word to be using right now, but I think this version of this game's a little different. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Foxy's moving already? Huh. Okay. But the animatronics look a way that insinuates, like, okay, I fully believe these things are real. To a point, right? And within a brain's capacity to... My mouse keeps dragging out of the game. Within your brain's own capacity to suspend disbelief. The game feels realistic. To that extent. Right? Obviously, it's not realistic in several aspects. But, like, look at all these pictures on the wall, like, just the Celebrate poster. You can imagine this place being active during the day. Again, to a point. You can imagine these animatronics being normal. Yeah, we win. And I think that level of realism, and then suddenly shifting that over into a horror game, is part of what a lot of mascot horror games miss. Like, let's be real for a second, if we're being honest with ourselves. What does Bendy and the Ink Machine have anything to do with the cartoons they're depicting? Yeah. Shut up, Scott. I'm trying to record a video here. Like, what does anything that happens in the Bendy games have to even do with the thing that they're playing off the nostalgia? I've been trying to avoid the use of nostalgia. The word nostalgia. But Bonnie's gotten the move on already. But it's memory betrayal. Like it's weaponizing nostalgia. It's weaponizing something you're familiar with. And not even in the way of, like, clowns. I like to use clowns as like a counter example. Excuse me. Because you've seen clowns. But clowns are like... A lot of people were scared of them to start with. So weaponizing them for a horror game kind of just makes sense. It's not like the most groundbreaking horror design, right? And even in this case, Five Nights at Freddy's would not have been the same if it was, say, like, a 3D survival run and hide kind of game. Not bashing, like, the future games in the same franchise. In the sense of, like, you know those fan games where you run around the pizzeria instead of just hiding in the office? Like that. If this game started off like that, I don't think this would have spawned a franchise. I don't think this game would have been anywhere near as popular. Because the way it presents its horror is so much more level. It's grounded. It's patient, I think is the right way to put it. Now that said, the game also positions you in a way where you don't want to be patient. You want to slam these doors down, but you can't because of the power. You can't run. You can't hide. And your only real defense is extremely limited. Quite frankly, it's a genius design even today. Like, people iterate on this design, but if we're being real, it's a lot of other people's designs are altered in a way that make it feel less grounded. Even FNAF 2, for example, the mask, really, like, okay, the mask works, sure. Like, if we're being honest, the mask was a tool that was good enough to eliminate the doors from the office. But other than that, I don't know, this is like the only game that actually feels grounded. And no other mascot horror game, I don't think, has even touched that aspect of it. It hasn't even, like, been in the same room as that aspect. Am I missing any that are like that? Am I forgetting any? That, like, where you really feel like that nostalgia is being properly weaponized? Because even games like Five Nights at Treasure Island, for example, it's re-weaponizing, like, the Disney IP, and yet it's really on the nose, in a way. Not the original Treasure Island, the remade one, based on the original. I don't know, it's overly done, right? Like, imagine if the animatronics in this game looked like the FNAF 4 variants, with, like, all the excess teeth and the... like, yeah, you know it wouldn't be the same, right? Imagine if they all looked like Foxy. Like, okay, the sharp teeth. Foxy works because he's out of order. He's supposed to be a fox. And, you know, it just works that way, right? It makes more sense for just him. Whereas these guys, the way they look, the way they're moving... Bro, Foxy's active. What the crap? They're all active. Am I remembering wrong? Were they always this active on night 1 and 2? What was I just saying? Yeah, the movements and the sounds these animatronics make are just done in a way that feels, like I said, feels grounded. It feels patient. It feels like it's not trying to overexert itself. the most important part is it lets you use your imagination. The fact that... That actually scared me. No, wait, that actually... I did not see that coming. What the crap? I was... Oh, I tabbed out by accident. I was fully zoned in on that rant, man. What the crap? Foxy! Come on, dude, calm down. It's night 2. But I'm gonna keep it real. I think this patch is a little... I think this patch is altered by a little bit. The game does not feel different. But... Bro, I've been watching Foxy, have I not? Have I not been watching Foxy a pretty substantial amount? I'm kinda scared for night 3 now. I feel like I'm gonna die here. You gonna get me, yeah. The genius thing about the camera mechanic is that the animatronics movement is covered by the static. Which we now know as kind of like a, oh, it happens in every FNAF game, right? Like, oh, yeah, that's just a part of the design. Like, we're so used to it that I think we've lost what actually made it so good the first time around. The fact that you know they're moving, but you just can't see it. You don't know how they're moving. You don't know what it looks like. But you can hear it. And you can feel it. It gets louder the closer they approach. Foxy, chill! I may run out of power here. If he doesn't stop bullying me. I'll probably be fine, but... Fat chicken. She's already back, what the crap? And see, like, just the fact that she shows up there, right? You don't see them moving. You don't know what they're capable of. And yet, just based on their movement patterns and the way they're standing in these hallways and the way their hallucinations work, you could feel their power without having to actually see it. However, you would probably feel a little better if you saw it because you'd be more spatially aware of what they're doing. You'd be a little more confident in like, okay, I am learning more about these guys as I watch them move, but you can't see them move. You don't even know what they can do. You don't even know what they're doing. You can't tell. And I think that's genius. Now, every FNAF game does it now, which makes it kind of like, you know, okay, sure, it was cool the first time. But I think that's kind of part of the tragedy, is that these things have been done so many times that we probably don't remember why they were so good in the first place. Evolution of FNAF memes. Another good idea, however, I'm really bad at internet archiving and research, so... I could see maybe, like, evolution of, like, FNAF Foxy memes or something, as opposed to, like, just all memes. I do remember the meme you're talking about, though, the classic Foxy meme. I'm coming for ye booty. That be treasure, you know. So, I find it really interesting to just kind of come back and look at specifically what made this game so particularly good. I kept wanting to talk about the phone calls, but I cannot talk while he's talking. I can't do it, I'm sorry. Hello?
Hey, you're doing great.
Hey!
Most people don't last this long.
Huh? But I do want to give the phone guy a little bit of attention because, again, the way that information is communicated to you is grounded. This is a guy who's telling you how to do the job. Because realistically speaking, like, we got the camera systems here, like, what really do you need to know? You watch the cameras, right? Maybe in a realistic sense you take a few laps around the building every so often, but not much more is needed than that, right? It's a phone recording. That's all it needs to be. If there was a real person, it would feel less, or if it was even a live phone call, I think, it would be less isolating. You'd feel less alone here. But the fact that it's a recorded phone call means that you're still kind of in that danger zone. You feel more in that danger zone. So I gotta respect the Scott Cawthon voice acting. Which honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think he did a great job. I think Scott Cawthon did a great job as phone guy. And the fact that the phone guy actually has a name now is like the funniest thing to me. I love it. That's the lore. That's the kind of FNAF lore we need expanding on, bro. We don't care about none of this remnant agony crap. We don't need... I don't even care about the dead kids at this point, man. I don't care about them dead children, bro. I want to know them. I need to see the face of the phone guy. Show us the phone guy, Steelboy. So yeah, that was kind of a quick revisiting of the original Five Nights at Freddy's. Because, I mean, again, I still don't think any mascot horror game to this day has quite understood the level of patience and levelness required to execute what FNAF 1 did. I could probably go on about this game a little longer, but I have videos dedicated to that, so subscribe, and mandatory insert of a subscription demand. Subscribe or Freddy's gonna get you. Uh-oh. Dude! You cannot make this crap up. Dude! Subscribe or Freddy's gonna get you, and I instantly hear the only in 5 Nights at Freddy's. Alright.